with this system. Anybody taking probability or spinning statistics? Right, when you average a bunch of numbers, it reduces the variance. Anybody? The point is, when I'm averaging this, people will be closer to the mean. It also means it's a little tougher to get an A. I mean, it's harder to fail. It's just a nice system, makes grade calculation really easy. But are there questions about that? I mean, we're good? You guys understand? Oh, right. But the important thing is I only look at the middle group. Your homework score will not be dropped. Your final will at least count for 25%. Now, I want you to notice, those 6 quizzes will count the same as a midterm, basically. I'm really thinking about it, like usually, if you took this during the year, you'd have 2 midterms. There's just not enough time. And it's just, so the way I see it is those 6 quizzes will basically be 6 problems that count as a midterm. Does that make sense? It's instead of taking two tests, it makes sense to me because it lets me test you on specific week stuff. Rather than, because the problem with the midterm is like I slam you with a ton of things, and even if you were really good at ordered fields, the week we did ordered fields, by the 4th week, maybe you forgot what an ordered field is. We're going to hopefully get to that today. Then you get to the midterm, you know what I mean? You get to the midterm and you mess it up. But if you take it the week of the ordered field stuff, you'll do better. Does that make sense? So, great. So that's grading. So I'm going to stop now because I'm basically running out of board space. Are there any questions about anything I've said?
Not enough people get a 12 and they'll be...
Don't worry about that. You shouldn't worry about the letters. The letters will work out. I promise you. I got in trouble last summer for giving too many names. But my point is, don't worry about the letters. People will get a 12 because I'm not saying a 90% is an A. I'm saying at least a 90% is an A. And 80% might be an A. Right? And I'll work it out to curve based on how people are doing. Because honestly, I prefer curves because then I don't have to really worry about, will an A student get at least 9 points on this, out of 10. Yeah.
So there would be no makeup exam and no makeup.
Right. Okay. Right. So in the occurrence, let's say you missed this midterm, I just copy this grade over once for the midterm. Does that make sense?
How about quizzes?
Right. So quizzes is the only thing I'm not dropping from. Let me think about that. Maybe I'll change my mind and say we can drop a quiz tomorrow. The only reason I don't want to is we only have 6 already. But maybe I'll push it and we'll drop 1 into 5. That's something you guys should probably convince me to do. I hadn't thought about it originally because you should at least, I don't know, if you know you have to be here Thursdays, make sure your other commitments happen on the other days. If you miss classes. Does that make sense?
You were down and drop a quiz.
What? Oh, did I? Oh, then fine. There you go, 5. You can miss a quiz.
Okay.
Right. I thought I didn't. I thought I specifically removed it, but that's okay. No, who cares? Cool. You guys can now drop a quiz. Problem solved. So there are no makeup exams. This carries, so again, let's say you missed this. Oh, you can't miss the final. Berkeley policy. In fact, I can't not give you a final. If I didn't give you a final, I would get in a whole lot of trouble. It's really funny. But you can't miss a final. If you miss the final, you have to fail the course. Policy of the school. So please don't miss the final. Good advice. And please don't ask for an early final because you have to go out of town. Because the fact of the matter is, I'm not going to have the final ready until like Wednesday night, because that's when I'm going to ask 4 or 5 of my friends to take it from me and tell me what they think about it. And they're not going to have time, and I know that they're not going to do it until the last possible minute because that's just how fast grad students are. But please don't miss the final. It just makes everything worse. In the event that something really terrible happens, I can give you complete. It's just sort of a mess. But if it happens in I don't know, like this happened actually once. One of my students got in a serious car accident 2 days before the final, had to have surgery in his leg, has a cool metal rod in his fever and all this stuff. That's a good reason to miss the final. That's cool. If that happens, somehow let me know that happened, and we'll give you an incomplete. We'll figure out how to finish your grade. Okay, great. Oh, right. So collaboration. I already kind of said this. Seriously, the best resource you guys have in this entire class is each other. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to start, the very first thing I'm going to do today is prove something that you guys already know. It's actually the first thing Rudin proves, but I'm going to prove it, not making the comments Rudin makes, but making my own comments. And you'll see that, doing some of these problems is sort of, random. And in fact, there's probably other ways to do the problem not to do. And the thing is, working with other people will figure out other ways to do the same problem. And that'll really help you. You don't think so right now, but I promise you that will really help you. Because you'll eventually start learning how other people think, and you'll be able to think like them and like yourself. And It'll really help you. I promise you this much. Like the most useful thing I've ever done, including in grad school when I used to take grad classes, I always worked with other people because we would be doing the homework and we'd both come up with proofs that are completely different. And then you read their proof and be like, this part's really clever, or this part's a big mess. And we'd be able to compare and we'd be able to see, well, how can we make a better proof from both of ours? And this is extremely important, especially in this class. Right, so I listed a few important deadlines. Right, and so yeah, the last big, so there's the general advice thing. I think I do it every semester. Oh, right, math's not a spectator sport. That's important. So yeah, you should. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Not doing you don't just read math. You have to do it. You're not trying to prove stuff. If you're not practicing just the concepts, it's going to be bad. But my only comment is, if there's anyone who's DSP, you don't have to tell me right now, obviously, but please let me know before Thursday. If you're DSP, if you have like time and a half or whatever other arrangements you have, please let me know before Thursday, and for the midterms and for the quizzes, I'll make sure that works. Okay? Are there any questions about the syllabus? Great. So I'm going to make one more disclaimer. So I've seen a few. I've seen a few of you in other classes, I've taught a few of you in other classes. They will be able to tell you that I speak really fast. If you guys, maybe you guys don't think so, but I speak really fast. I blame it on being from Guatemala, because in Guatemala you speak Spanish really fast, and that's just how you do it, and it carries over to my English. But I also get excited. That's the worst part. Like I'm doing like this seemingly like annoying math problem, but I'm excited about it, right? And so I start moving very quickly. It's your job to slow me down. I will do my best to try to pace myself, but like you'll see today. Today we're going to cover extremely easy things. But the proofs themselves may not be easy because it's the first time you're seeing that kind of technique. So I want you to interrupt me. You're welcome to interrupt me at any time. And I'll put my foot down if you guys are interrupting me too much. But don't think you're interrupting me too much until I ask you guys, let me get it. But the point is, interrupt me. That's a good thing. But I will ask, if someone else is asking a question or someone else is talking, please don't interrupt them. Alright? Are we cool? Wonderful. So how am I going to start with the flavor of analysis? Well, the first part of my lecture, let me see what I'm doing on time. Right, so the other thing, and I mentioned it at the beginning, so technically this is a 2 hour, oh yeah, I forgot to say this, it's in there. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 12, we have discussion. I don't know if you saw this on the syllabus. First of all, make sure you're enrolled in both the discussion and the lecture. And if you're not enrolled, I think everyone is, because there's the same number of students in both classes, unless somebody decides to only be in my discussion, somebody's fuller. The point is, I don't do things that way. I don't like to just say, this hour is now discussion. It's just not how I roll. It's just because, to me, like, it's much, much more useful if I say stuff, ask you guys a question, you guys think for 5 minutes. Say more stuff, ask you guys a question, you guys think for 5 minutes. And that's more how I do my lecture. So so there's never going to be like a discussion period. So you can't plan on, like, in general, missing Tuesday from 11 to 12, Thursday from 11 to 12. Right? Does that make sense? Cheers. Right. So this class is often called real analysis, not because all other kinds of analysis are fake, but because this is mainly going to be concerned with the real numbers. There's complex analysis 185 that my buddy's teaching. That's a cool class too, but it's completely different. It's also the same. It's really neat. At some point you want to see, like, you want to make taking integrals the same as changing one circle into another. It's really cool. You should take complex analysis. It's a very beautiful class. But this class is all about the real numbers. So just like Rudin, I'm going to start out by justifying why we care about the real numbers. So I'm going to assume a few things. Well, let me go with the very basics. So do you guys know what these symbols are? What's this?
Natural numbers.
These are the natural numbers. So maybe I should call this our review. Oh yeah, my board work is awful. I'm going to do my best to do a good job of this. So this is, 1, 2, 3. And then there's this. These are what?
Integers.
Integers, right.